Britain's King Charles told the US Congress that despite growing global uncertainty and divisions over the Iran war, the United Kingdom and the United States remain steadfast allies. Addressing lawmakers, he acknowledged disagreements between the two nations, but stressed their shared commitment to defending democratic values. Take a look.
Our destinies as nations have been interlinked.
Britain's King Charles told the U.S. Congress on Tuesday that despite an age of uncertainty and conflict in Europe and the Middle East, the UK and the U.S. will always be staunch allies. The speech comes at a time of deep divisions between the two longtime allies over the war with Iran.
Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy.
In a speech Buckingham Palace had said would not be political, Charles referenced President Donald Trump's criticism of NATO and stressed the need for continued U.S. support for Ukraine.
When NATO invoked Article 5 for the first time, and the United Nations Security Council was united in the face of terror, we answered the call together, as our people have done so for more than a century. Today, Mr. Speaker, that same unyielding resolve is needed for the defense of Ukraine and her most courageous people.
The king also seemed to reference Trump's America First agenda in his speech.
I pray with all my heart that our alliance will continue to defend our shared values with our partners in Europe and the Commonwealth and across the world. And that we ignore the clarion calls to become ever more inward-looking.
Later, at a state banquet at the White House, Trump said that Charles didn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, a statement the king did not comment on.
We have militarily defeated that particular opponent, and we're never going to let that opponent ever, Charles agrees with me, even more than I do, we're never going to let that opponent have a nuclear weapon.
Downing Street in Buckingham Palace did not immediately respond to questions about Trump's comments on Iran.
And at that White House state dinner, US President Donald Trump said King Charles III shared his view that Iran should not be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon, bringing the sensitive West Asia issue into the high-profile event. Listen in.
From the trenches of World War I to the beaches of Normandy, from the frozen hills of Korea to the scorching sands of North Africa and the Middle East. And we're doing a little Middle East work right now, two of you might know, and we're doing very well. We have militarily defeated that particular opponent, and we're never going to let that opponent ever, Charles agrees with me, even more than I do, we're never going to let that opponent have a nuclear weapon. They know that, and they've known it right now very powerfully. But our countries have stood together, defiant and triumphant against the forces of communism, fascism, and tyranny. Together we have expanded the reaches of human knowledge and endeavored always to make this world safer, more prosperous, more just, and more free.